we're going to be doing our chair class. So this is actually to show you that you don't need to have the strength to stand up and exercise yet, that we can actually already get a really good workout in your chair. So just to recap on the benefits of exercise, you know, if we are doing even 20 minutes 3 times a week, we are getting a long-term endorphin release, which can help with our pain reduction, but can also help with our function. So how today's exercise class is going to work, everything is going to be in the chair. We're going to start with a warm-up, then we're going to go into our main exercises. So it will be 30 seconds per exercise, and it will be a 20-minute long main exercise session. After 10 exercises, you'll get a 30 seconds break, and so on. Then we will end off with a cool down and stretches and go into some breathing. So just some tips for the class. It is important that we sit up nicely with a straight back. If we're sitting back, relaxing into the chair, we aren't really getting the activation that we would like to. So sitting up nice and tall and engaging those core and your back muscles. You can also make sure that your legs are a little bit wider at times, just so that you have sufficient balance. Starting off with neck rolls to the left and to the right. Into some shoulder rolls backwards and forwards. We're going to slide our hands along our knees and round our back and going into an arch position, feeling that chest opening up, arm circles, make them as big as you can, and forwards. Reaching up to the ceiling and down to your toes, getting a stretch in the lower back. I'm going to reach over to the side, opening up the rib cage, feeling a deep stretch in the lower back. We're going to go into some hamstring scoops. Notice that your body is feeling a little bit warmer now. Very important to prepare our muscles for the main exercises. Going into a figure 4 stretch with a chest bounce, keeping your back as straight as possible. Ankle circles, alternating up and down. And we're ready to go into the main exercises. Starting off with some forward arm pulses. Important with all the arm exercises to keep your upper part of the shoulders relaxed by pulling the bottom part of your shoulder blades down all the way to your hips. Trying to keep your arms as straight as possible. Now we're going to go all the way out to the side and back to the middle. Trying to keep your arms in line with your shoulders. If unable to do so yet, just go to the level that feels comfortable. The more you practice, the higher you'll be able to get. Going into some arm flaps, still focusing on keeping those upper part of the shoulders down, away from your ears, and the shoulder blades down to your hips. Now bringing the arms overhead and back to the side. As we bring our arms up, we're going to turn our hands in towards each other and then let the palms go back towards the floor as while we're going down. Into arm pulses overhead, focusing on our shoulder position and our shoulder blade position. Notice that your breathing may be getting a bit deeper now as our heart rate begins to increase. Then we're going to go to lateral flexions of the lower back, reaching as far to the floor as possible, opening up the ribs and focusing on using the abdominal muscles to do the movement. Thoracic rotations, focusing on using those abdominal muscles to get the rotation to the side and to help with mobility in the upper back. Now we're going to do thoracic rotations with our arms out to the side, focusing on our shoulder position, keeping it down, and initiating the movement with our stomach muscles. Remember to keep breathing. We're going to reach to the side using our internal oblique muscles. Try to keep your arms as level as possible and initiating the movement with your stomach muscles. We're going to do the same movement but do a double pulse at the end. For balance, you may need to place your feet a little bit wider. Going into a 30-second rest break. Grab some water if you need to. We're going to do right leg hip flexion, keeping our back nice up and tall and engaging our stomach muscles. and moving over to the left side, controlling your leg back to the floor so that the foot hardly makes a sound when it touches. This is to work on your what we call eccentric control, which is the controlled lengthening of the muscle. Going into calf raises, lifting those heels up, pushing the toes into the floor so you can feel the calf muscles activate. This is a great exercise for circulation. And then we're going to go into toe raises, focusing on using the muscles next to our shin bone to bring our feet towards the ceiling. Okay, so we're going to keep our legs straight and then using our hip flexor muscles, bringing the leg higher up to the ceiling. Just go to where you can, and if you're unable to lift your leg up off of the chair at this point, you are more than welcome to just hold it in that position. We're going to go to the left side. We're going to tap our heel to our knee with our knee turned out like a ballerina. This is working on our muscle called the sartorius and getting rotation into the hip. Going to the other side, remembering to keep our back up straight, engaging our abdominal muscles while doing the movements. Gonna walk on the spot in the chair, getting a bit of rotation into the lower back and upper back as we move. We're going to do knee taps with a rotation in the back, initiating the movement with your abdominal muscles, keeping the shoulder blades down. Going into a rest break. We're going to do some rotation punches, initiating with the abdominal muscles with the rotation and stretching the arm out as far as possible. We're going to take our right arm towards our right foot and then rotate towards the left side while lifting our arm up. All these movements initiating with the abdominal muscles. Then we're going to go to the other side, left arm to left foot, and rotate towards the right side. Reaching up to the ceiling, and as we bring our arms down, lifting our alternative legs, still focusing on our abdominal muscle position and making sure that the back is away from the chair, controlling the leg down. We're going to go into rotations, crossing the midline, bringing our elbow to the opposite knee. Keeping the back up straight, initiating with the abdominal muscles. We're going to go into some bicycle kicks. If you are unable to keep your feet off of the ground the whole time, you can keep your feet on the ground and then just lift up the knees one at a time. This is what we call a nerve glide. So we're getting a glide into our sciatic nerve. Going to the other side and focusing on keeping that back nice and upright. We're gonna keep our arms bent at 90 degrees and we're gonna go in towards the middle and out towards the side. Trying to keep your arms level with your shoulders, feeling that chest open up. We're gonna reach up towards the ceiling, bring the arms in a bent position and out to the side. Going into a rest break. Grab some water if you need some. We're going to turn to the side of our chair and we're going to go into some doggy kicks, trying to keep your leg as far back as possible and initiating with the side buttocks muscle. We're going to go into leg circles. You can also do this just with the sock on to slide the foot around, getting a nice rotation in your hip muscles. And we're going to go into leg extensions, trying to lift the foot off of the ground as going back and only putting the toe on the ground as you get to the greatest part of the extension. We're going to go into a standing half squat, focusing on using both of your thigh muscles. And we're going to go to the left side, keeping that leg as far back as possible and focusing on using the side buttocks muscles. Only go to where you feel you're able to. Going into some leg circles. Make the movement as big as possible. Remember, the more often we do it, the more fluent our movement will become. Going into leg extensions, trying to lift up that foot completely and only putting the foot on the floor when we get our leg into full extension or as far as you're able to. Going into half kneeling squats, focusing on keeping your back up straight. Going forwards, and we're going to do tricep extensions, keeping the chest slightly forwards, but keeping the back straight. Getting those arms as far back as possible and the elbows as straight as possible. going to hold that tricep extension. Going into our cool down, we're going to move our neck to the side and hold it there. And to the other side. Grabbing our head behind, pulling our chin towards the chest. We're going to go into a crossover arm stretch, keeping those shoulder blades down towards the hips. And going to the other side. Going into a tricep stretch, trying to get that arm as far back as possible, even behind the ear. But remember, if you're not able to get there yet, that is perfectly okay. Just go to where you are able to. And going to the other side. Going into a side flexion stretch and holding it there with the arm overhead, opening up your rib cage. And going to the other side. Going into a hamstring scoop stretch. You're more than welcome to put your hand on your legs if you need to. And swapping sides. Going into a figure 4 stretch, bringing that chest towards your leg, keeping the back nice and straight. And going to the other side. Ending off with a quadricep stretch, turning towards the side. We did a lot of hip flexion exercises today, so it is important that we get a good stretch in our quadriceps and hip flexor muscles. And we're going to go to the other side. We're going to go into a time of breathing now, focusing on breathing into your hands through the diaphragm and the chest and keeping your shoulders relaxed. Focusing on a deep breath for 4 seconds through your nose, holding that breath for 4 seconds, breathing out through your mouth
for 4 seconds and holding that exhale for 4 and repeating. Even 3 minutes of deep breathing can activate our vagus nerve, and that activates our parasympathetic nervous system, which is our rest and digest system. The music is going to continue playing for you to breathe in your own time. And when you feel ready, you can open your eyes when the music stops playing. Thanking yourself and thanking yourself for what your body has done today.